We've been showing this demo to some of the UK's largest hospitality operators over the last few weeks, and the reaction to these demos is exactly why I wanted to make this video today. Stampede can be difficult to describe because we do cover quite a few different modules and services, and it's hard to distill exactly what we are in a single sentence or through a graphic on our website or something like that. So this video is about showing you, not telling you, what Stampede actually does. At our core, we're a guest profiling platform, and we help hospitality businesses build comprehensive overviews of every guest who walks in their doors. Then we use that information to help their teams deliver best-in-class service and deliver smarter marketing. We build these guest profiles for two main reasons, as I say. The first one is that service element. So a guest profile is essentially useless if the team can't use it at the table. We want your front of house to have meaningful insights that generally improve the guest experience. And the second thing is the marketing, as I mentioned before. So once your data is structured and unified, you can use it to deliver highly personalized campaigns that bring guests back again and again. We want to be delivering the right message at the right time for these guests. And we can only do that if all of their information is neatly displayed in one view and you can actually action it within your CRM and your marketing communications. Part of today's discussion is also going to be proving to you that you can essentially run your whole hospitality business with one of these, doesn't necessarily need to be in pink, and one of these square handheld devices. So what I'm going to be doing is, it's going to be a live demo. I'm going to be jumping into this demo account right here, and we're going to be walking through exactly what it would be like for the operators in the venue, and then afterwards what the marketing team can do with those guest profiles as well. So let's jump in here, and I'm going to go into my guest profile. So this is my overview within this account, within this organization. And at start, we can already see how many visits I've had at the top. This is also where I can correlate or collect all of my review information. So all of the reviews that I've left for an organization will sit within here. We can look at those per venue as well within that organization. Tags sit within here. Any Wi-Fi sign-ons, any surveys that I've done via the Wi-Fi, any transactions that I've done through the point of sale, maximum amount I've spent over a time period also sits within this guest profile as well. If I've got a gift card associated with me or with my name, that's going to be within here as well. If there's any messages coming in from the table booking system, that's also going to be in my guest profiles. This is also where pre-orders sit. This is also where large inquiries will sit as well for a particular guest too. So there's actually a lot of information in here. What we're looking at in the middle is the AI insights. Now this has given me a bit of insight of how many times I've been in a particular month, and will tell me how what a particular customer is worth over time as well, what the potential value of that customer is. But what you're seeing underneath with the quick tips is actually what we're sending to the Square handheld in the notes. So what I'm going to be demonstrating today is if you're creating an order in Stampede, that's getting pushed to Square, and then all of the guest profile notes, or the key information from that, is also going to appear on this device as well, which is, to be honest, a bit of an industry first. So if I go into the day planner right now, I'm going to be using this farmer's dog venue for today. This isn't the real farmer's dog, this is just a demo environment, but we're just using their branding for this. So I'm looking at table 9 at the moment. So I've got Joseph Benassi on there. So I've just clicked onto him. You can see quite a bit of information about this guy already just on the left-hand side. So there's information about his reviews that he's left in the past, allergens, etc. That's the kind of basic information we want to be surfacing just at a glance. Now we can see at the top, we've got a lightning bolt and 34 visits for this venue. If I click that eyeball, I'm going to get an organizational overview. So we can see across the whole organization, he's had 71 visits, and then that full guest profile that we're looking at earlier, that's also going to be held within here, which is nice, if I do need to see that at any stage. So in this case, we're actually going to seat Joseph. So he has come into the venue, that's great. And now I'm going to walk over to him and I want to take his order. So on the Square handheld device, I'm on the floor plan right now. I'm going to table 9 and I'm going to add in some items for Joseph. So I'm going to add in a cheeseburger here, and let's go for a soft drink as well. Just add that in for him. And what I can do is basically hit send. And what I want to do is have a look at his profile that's flashing just there. Look at the icons on that section. 3, 2, 1, and there we go, knife and fork. So I basically sent that order to Joseph's profile here, and on the left hand side I can scroll down and see that I have a couple of items associated with his name. So I've got a cheeseburger and that soft drink can associated with his name, which is really nice. It means that basically all of that has been sent through to him and he can view that. Well, the front of house team can view that, or the team behind the scenes can also see what's on a particular table. I can also add orders on from within Stampede to Square, but there is quite a lot to show you today, so we're going to skip that just for the moment. But I can add on a second cheeseburger, anything from the main Square items. I can put that onto his order from the day planner, not necessarily having to do that within Square. But one of the main things I do want to show you just now is, because we know that Joseph Benassi is on that table, within the profile here, we are now pulling Joseph's notes through to Stampede, through to the Square terminal, I should say. So he's made that order, we've added it to his guest profile, and now the two are linked because we know he's on that table. So that's a really nice way of basically linking the two profiles together. If it's the case that we want to pay, that will also speak to each other as well. But I'm actually going to show you the payment side in a slightly different view. So the other option is, if I have someone who is maybe going to walk in. So maybe we're walking into the venue here and we want someone, this isn't going to be Joseph, it's going to be me this time. And I'm going to open up a check on table 10. Now at any stage in this interaction, I can actually ask the customer if they have a venue card or any sort of loyalty card. And within Stampede, we have our own and they link directly to Square. So we see I've got my card on your left-hand side here, and I can basically scan that. That's going to get added into here. So now I can see on my profile, associated to that booking, we've got Lewis McSporran, or of my past information. I've already got a 20% off voucher associated with me because I have this card in here already. That can be set nicely if you want to do that just midweek, or if you just want to do it for a particular time. That's all organized in the back end of Square at this stage. And maybe I want to add in some items. So let's say I want to add in from me, what am I thinking for tonight? Let's go for the ribs, add that in. And let's go for a mixed grill. We'll add 2 of those in tonight while we're having to drink. Let's go for let's go for a glass of wine. Let's go for 2 glasses of red wine. Okay, so the same thing again. I've now, instead of taking this from the booking, this is a walk-in that's come in, and now we want to sit them in Stampede on the day planner. So what I'm going to do, top left, top right, I should say, going to hit send. Now, keep an eye on table 10 in the middle of that floor plan. And we're basically going to get my profile. There it is, pulling through to table 10. We can see it's Lewis McSporran on there, nice and easy. It can also view that order. So I've got my barbecue ribs, full rack, 2 mixed grills, and my 2 glasses of red wine all sitting within here. Pretty cool. The next thing I can do is actually do payments too. So if I wanted to pay for this bill, or Lewis wants to pay for his order, I can do that within here. He can pay with his card at any stage. There we go. And now keep an eye on that iPad. So this is within Stampede. We want to see what's happening to that order. It's now been marked as complete, and now that transaction is now finished. You can see on the back end, table 10 is now going to purple. That means we know that I've left the venue, or I've at least paid and about to leave. That's pretty cool, and that does tie in. It's a comprehensive integration between the two platforms there, making sure that those guest profiles are really served up nicely. Now, after that, we're now talking about what the marketing team is going to do with that information. So if I go into marketing workflows, it might be the case that I want to have a workflow that's ready for people who are spending over a certain amount. So in this example here, we've got one. This is for people who have paid their order and they have paid over £50. Now, this is saying we're going to wait for 10 a.m. the next day and we're going to send them an offer. So this is actually a Christmas offer we're looking at here, which is actually pretty topical. So if I know that there's some people coming in around October, November, they're spending quite a bit of money, why wouldn't I ask them to come in as being a Christmas guest or a Christmas VIP? So what we're asking here is if they want to make a booking after that first email I send them, basically we can, if they make a booking after 1 week, we can add a tag, so they're a brand fan, and then we can send them an email saying what to expect when they arrive for their VIP booking. And the other option is if they don't make a booking within a week, we can send them another message. So we can give them a little bit more information about what's on offer for them. And we can ask them again after This is set to 2 hours, or it could be within 2 weeks, I think it should be. We can basically remove them from a workflow if they, again, make that booking, but if they don't, we can continue the conversation. 2 weeks later, do they make a booking? 1 week later, do they make a booking XYZ? There's quite a bit of information within here, and this is really how we can get those guest communications really specific to every single guest. Another one that I've talked about before quite a bit is cancelled bookings. So people who have cancelled, this is a really nice way of actually getting them back into the venue. A classic one that we're coming up with, or we're speaking about quite a bit now, is also if people have mentioned a particular review or a particular word in a review, and that review has a particular sentiment. So an example could be if they have mentioned the pizza negatively, then we might want to put them into a particular workflow. That's all a trigger. So as I say, back to that guest profile, everything within here is a potential trigger for your marketing workflows. And because we have all of these data points within Stampede, we own all of these different points. We can then choose if people take a hard attribution, a hard call to action, which is joining the Wi-Fi, maybe signing up to a loyalty scheme, maybe they're entering more information through a form, might be that they're making that table booking. Any of these hard attributions, not just email clicks and opens, we can remove them from our workflow and take a separate call to action. So these journeys are all extremely tailored. And that's really what we're trying to do. These guest profiles is what we want on every single customer. And as I say, main reasons are, for that guest experience, you want to know exactly who they are at the table when they come in. Second thing is tailored marketing communications.